Venus, the planet of love, laughter, luck, social niceties, politesse, getting along with other people, is in the sign of Aquarius from February the 1st to February 25th. So we want to think about what that means for each of us individually, but also as a sort of collective thing. And I'm quite interested in that. I always follow the pattern of Venus through the years because it's very useful to know where Venus is in relation to your own chart, or just in general, because it will show you where there's some smoothness, where things are going more easily, where there's a little bit of honey, a little bit of sweetness. This is the planet of sugar. So Venus is currently in the sign of Aquarius, where there's a massive stellium of all the other planets, the other traditional planets, except for Mars and Uranus, which are making a conjunction up there in Taurus. So what does it mean when Venus is in Aquarius? It means that those Aquarian things are made more easy, are the things that we should be looking at to find the beauty in life. And Aquarius is the sign of society. It's the sign of collective endeavor. It's a sign that it's an air sign. It's a sign of thought, of thinking, of big ideas, concepts, of having a plan and making it happen. And that this month is really, Venus plays a pivotal role. It's a really, really important month. It may be the most important month of the year. And actually, I'm counting this as almost as a short month because it's that Venus month from the 1st of February to the 25th of February, when she makes contacts with pretty much every single other planet. So it's like she's at a party and she's introducing everybody to each other, and she's doing it in a very polite manner. The other thing that I want to emphasize is that Venus is the planet of peace. She brings peace, she brings harmony. This is all, there's a dark side to Venus as well, which is jealousy, and for example, which is jealousy, or being overly luxurious, looseness, vulgarity. In other signs, I think she actually is very good in Aquarius. In fact, in general, this is a sign which has pretty good boundaries. And it's when Venus gets unbounded that there can be problems. Okay, so I just want to talk you through Venus through this month quite quickly. She goes into Aquarius today, the 1st of February. On the 6th of February, she makes a conjunction to Saturn. Now, you'd think that Venus and Saturn wouldn't get along. Actually, they do. This is about making a commitment. Depending on where it is in your chart, you should be thinking about making a commitment. So for Leos, that it may be actually getting married, making a love commitment, or getting into a partnership. For Aquarians, ditto. This is about who you're committed to, what you're responsibility for, and loving what you're responsible for, loving your responsibilities. For Geminis and Librans, this month with Venus in Aquarius can be particularly lucky, okay? Because it's a fellow air sign, it's in a trine aspect for you, and that's always really a good thing. So let's carry on. So Venus then makes a square aspect. This is a hard aspect on the 7th of February to Uranus, which is the planet of surprises. So there may be like a love surprise, especially perhaps if you're a Taurus. You may get some kind of shock, some kind of it's maybe to do with work for Taurians. In fact, this month is all about work for Taurus. But there may be some good surprise to do with work, which may be asking you to value yourself a little bit more, because Venus is also the planet of value. And the Venus in Aquarius is asking us about our value within the community. How are we contributing? How are we not contributing? What's the give? What's the take? So then, on the new moon, which is a really powerful new moon, because Venus, Mercury, the Sun, the Moon, Jupiter, and Saturn will all be in Aquarius. It's a massive, massive stellium in Aquarius. it's actually helped a lot by the presence of Venus, who makes the conjunction with Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet of luck, the greater benefit. So is Venus. She's Lady Luck and he's God Luck. These two make a conjunction usually once a year. So this is a really, really important day in the year. It's an incredibly lucky day, depending on where Venus falls in your chart. So, for example, for Librans, it's a very lucky in love, or lucky for your children. You may get some news, good news about that. For Leos, it's about your relationships. For Capricorns, this is much more inward. This is a spiritual kind of conjunction, you know. It's about the love of God, perhaps. And for Cancerians, this is like much more interior as well. Okay, so then Venus goes on to make a conjunction with Mercury on the 13th of February, and this is just a general point for everyone. Mercury is retrograde, of course, but it is a fantastic day for having a difficult conversation, because Venus will smooth it all out. You know, so you say the hard things with Venus making this conjunction to Mercury, and actually it kind of turns out to be much, much easier. So I would suggest, if you have a difficult conversation that you need to have, do it on that day, and that applies to any sign. Then the Sun goes into Pisces on the 19th of February, and then the day after that, Venus makes a square, which is a hard aspect, to her lover, Mars, but he's also the god of war, right? So square aspect, hard aspect, but she's got the power, right? Because she's got all of these other planets around her. So it's a victory of peace over war. So be on the side of peace this month. It's the peace train, if you want to think about it like that, because this is a social sign. This is Aquarius, the social sign. So we're riding the peace train this month if we're working with that power of Venus. And then on the 25th of February, Venus goes into Pisces.